Thank you for joining us today. My name is Gail Watson, President and CEO of Women Speakers Association, the go-to place for innovative leaders, change agents, and women with a message to connect, collaborate, and grow their visibility worldwide in order to fulfill her mission. And as part of this, helping her to fulfill this mission, we are very excited to introduce you to Voices of the 21st Century, a book featuring a collection of female voices rising up to educate, guide, and inspire. And here with us today is the most amazing woman you'll ever meet, and our featured author, Charmaine Hammond. Welcome
Hi.
to the show.
Thank you, Gail.
You're so awesome.
Aw, right back at you.
The subtitle of this book is A Bold, Brave, and Brilliant Woman Who Shares Her Powerful Story. And what I love about your story is you really take us on the journey from going from that bold and scary move of leaving the structure and the comfort of a full-time job to taking that crazy leap into the entrepreneurial world, and then also really stretching it to have yourself step out as an influencer, and a big one like you are. So what I'd love is if you could share with us a little bit about this story and why you decided it was important for this story to be part of Voices of the 21st Century.
Well, great question to start with. I think for me, this was so important because I have met so many women and men, but specifically women who are wanting to leave the safety, security, comfort, predictability of their job, of their career. And it's a scary, scary leap to just start a business. And the other interesting thing is now that I've turned over 50, I've met lots of women who are saying, now what? I've had my career, now what? And so I thought I'd share this story about my big, bold leap, which was to leave the security of a government job. At the time I left my work, I was working for government, working in the health industry, and left my career in a bit of a graduated way. So I moved down to part-time, and then I was running my business part-time, which at the time was a mediation and consulting company, a training company. And it kind of got to that one of them has to go, and I chose business. And that's not where my area of excellence is, running a business. So there were huge, huge, painful learning curves in that, in learning how to run a business, how to run a profitable business, and then how to do some of the things that I love to do in a philanthropic way. So the book kind of takes you through that journey of leaving the full-time job, starting my business, rebranding myself several times because I had 3 businesses and 1 charity, and they've changed over the years. And then now to doing what I love 100%, and having time to do philanthropic work that really jazzes me.
That's awesome. So let's talk about that a little bit more, because we are today, and you have a lot going on. I mean, you travel the globe with your speaking career, and every time I talk to you, you always got some big, huge project up your sleeve. So there's no slowing you down, and that continual go is there. So let's talk about some of those things that you have going on.
Well, we're expanding one of our companies that I co-own with Rebecca Kirstein. So Raise a Dream is expanding and growing, and in terms of its programs, its offerings, and the audience we serve. So that is super exciting. I'm working on an animated film project, which is incredibly exciting, learning about the film world and how to build powerful collaborations with for-profit companies and brands and nonprofit organizations, so that through this film we can do some good in the world. The film is called The Beast, and it's a reimagination of the Fort McMurray, Canada wildfires that's been created and written by Michael Mankowski, the screenwriter, to help other communities that are facing and dealing with community disasters and crisis. So the goal is to really be a conversation starter and help get people healing and building resilience after disaster. So because of my love for collaboration and pulling people together on projects, I am having a complete blast at building these incredible partnerships and learning so much about other business models and other nonprofit models. And then, of course, this book, which is a super exciting project.
I'm glad you like it, because you're author of several books.
I am. I've got several books. One in the personal development world called GPS Your Best Life that I co-authored with Deborah Kozowski, and then I have 3 books about my dog that have nothing really to do with what I teach and speak on in my speaking business. But my dog Toby became a huge teacher for me in life and how to be a better person. So I wrote a memoir called On Toby's Terms, and then when we were doing presentations to schools, that's an adult book, but kids and families loved it. So I started doing a whole series of presentations to schools with our dog Toby. And we had numerous requests from little children that they wanted a book that had pictures in it and was for children. So I wrote 2 children's books as well.
Okay, just a few little things that you've got going on. All right, when we talk about this story that you share in this journey, going from the security of a job to taking the leap into entrepreneurial world, right now, I mean, I know there's people listening and watching and hearing your words going, yeah, I'd love to do that too. But then looking at you and going, wow, you're just, I mean, you've done so much. It must be so easy for you. You're just a natural at this. I mean, this story that you share, what do you want people to take away from it?
And I love that. I emphasize the painful learning. There's been so much personal growth and learning on the last 22 years plus of this journey. But the common ones is that it's all about, stepping out of what's comfortable, which is a big part of what we do as entrepreneurs and as difference makers. We're often stepping out of what's uncomfortable into new territory and new learning. But it's also about stepping up and having a voice about things that really matter to you. And that may change through your life, through your careers. It certainly has for me. And at the end of the chapter, when I was writing, I thought, how do I pull this whole journey together? And I pulled it together with sort of 3 I guess you could call them lessons or overarching aha moments, I guess. And one of them came down to collaboration, that what's remained consistent through this whole journey is the power of working with other people, and how collaboration can inspire creativity and innovation, makes the load a lot lighter to carry. And raise a dream. Rebecca and I always say, it takes a team to raise a dream. And really, that was prevalent through my whole life after leaving college, actually. And then the second big aha was around kindness. That's been a second thread that has followed through the journey, about the power of kindness from other people and what happens when we just show up from a place of kindness. And I guess the last one is just the amount of courage that it takes to step up, to step in, to step out, whatever it is you're doing in your life. When there's big change involved, growth takes a lot of courage, and it's really easy to fall back to what's comfortable. And so I've found that through my journey, I've had to keep pushing myself. And as soon as I'm a little uncomfortable, I know that I'm usually on the right track, and then I'm going to get a lot more uncomfortable before it starts to feel good again.
That's good. So you're right. When you're outside of that, I've often felt that myself. I know that when I'm feeling that uncomfortable feeling, that's when I know I'm growing.
Yes.
And it's hard to push through sometimes. It really, really is.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like this story, if you're listening right now or watching, and this is really speaking to you, this is the perfect motivator for you to know that you're not alone. And I just can't help but think as well that if you know, if there's a name popping into your mind right now, and you know somebody that's has that burning fire inside. They want to take that leap. They want to push themselves to that next level. But a lot of the times they're not, is because of that fear. This would be like the ultimate gift. And what I'm almost thinking is it would be great to be able to reach out to you, get that book, and it'd be awesome if we could even get a personal little autograph in there or a message.
Yeah, absolutely, they can do that. Absolutely.
Okay. Well,
and probably best place is to go to my website, charmainehammond.com.
Okay, perfect. And we'll make sure this link is there. So charmainehammond.com. You're amazing, Charmaine. And you offer so much, and you give. When you talk about kindness, your giving is above and beyond anyone I've ever met. And I really, really appreciate you. Honored that you're part of this book and part of this journey. And every time I speak with you, you always leave me with, well, a lot, many words of wisdom. But how about leaving something with our listeners today that they can take away and put into their life?
I'm going to challenge people to ask, to do the big ask, the little ask. Asking is usually something that takes us out of our comfort zone, and you can start small, like ask somebody for directions. It doesn't have to be the huge ask of your life, but to get skilled and comfortable at asking. That was my biggest behind the scenes transformation that I needed to do. And I realized that the more I tried to go at things alone, the harder the project became, the higher the failure rate. And when I would just include others, things were easier and more successful, but it required me to learn how to ask. And so with asking is also the other side, which is giving. So when you're a champion for others and you learn how to ask for yourself, things become a lot easier in life, and you can make a bigger difference in the world with your message, with the projects you're working on, and what you want people to take away from the work you do with them.
Just ask. It's that simple.
Exactly. Just ask.
Again, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story. It's a fantastic story. Everybody should read it. You're the most inspiring person I know. And charmainehammond.com. Go check her out. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us today. I wish you a great day and invite you to come back again and hear another amazing woman share her great stories. Thank you.
Thank you.